Hey, what is up guys? JP here and welcome back to another video. There's some crazy stuff cooking at Universal, so let's get rolling. First and foremost, I want to talk about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and I also want to talk about entertainment inside of the park. For a long time, I've been talking about Universal Studios Hollywood potentially bringing Death Eaters to the daytime guests to add some form of entertainment while we are missing two shows. So recently, they started adding decorations, hinting at something coming towards Wizarding World this year. Last night, they had some form of dress rehearsal or test for the Death Eaters. And here, let me show you a small clip bit of that. It looks absolutely incredible. I love the choreography. I love all of the Death Eaters coming together. It's very spooky. It's very eerie. And I really can't wait to see what they do inside of the park and how they interact with guests, because for Halloween Horror Nights, they have the Death Eaters. But for daytime guests, they can't just have Death Eaters running around scaring guests. So they have this little show over here, and they have some fog pumping. I have no idea what's going to happen in the Wizarding World. Over in Florida, they do something similar to Halloween Horror Nights out here in California, but they just have Death Eaters running around interacting with some guests. Sometimes a guest or two dresses up like familiar characters from the movies, like Voldemort, like a guest dressed up as Voldemort, and the Death Eaters basically worshipped Voldemort, which was awesome. I hope I get to see something similar over here in Hollywood, or maybe even I can do it, but masks aren't allowed in the park, so I don't want to risk it. I don't want to get in trouble. But it would be really cool to see their interactions over here in Hollywood if we get Voldemort. So for the past 2 or 3 months, I've been talking about Death Eaters specifically. Just because Universal has removed 2 shows and there's really no form of entertainment inside of the park, it was a small idea of mine for them to bring Death Eaters to Hollywood, especially with Dark Arts. So I'm like, okay, let me just hint at it in every video and see if Universal will pick up on it. And it does seem like they've picked up on it, and it does seem like it's coming to the park, which is awesome. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Just based on that video, it's super exhilarating. It looks awesome. The actors and the performers are just doing a phenomenal job. They look so creepy, but it's just so nice to have some form of like entertainment at night, because normally there isn't really much to do at night at Universal. So this definitely adds a lot for you to see and do in the Wizarding World. Now, of course, the Death Eaters aren't going to be at the same level as the ones they were for Horror Nights. They're mostly just going to be running around based on videos of the ones in Florida. They're going to be running around checking for the death mark on your arm. And if you don't have it, they'll do something fun with you. And if you do, a bunch of them will come around and praise you. They did something similar for Horror Nights, but it's not going to be to the same fear level. They're not going to like pump fog like crazy in that little alley in the back of Hogsmeade. Now, with them bringing back the Death Eaters for a limited time, I wonder if they're going to bring anything else in the park over the summer. So the Death Eaters will only be a few weekends in May, or the end of May and a little bit beginning of June. And then they'll go away. That'll be it for Dark Arts, and that'll be it for the Death Eaters. They'll probably come back next year, or obviously for Horror Nights. But I wonder if they're going to do anything with those performers for the rest of the park, because the rest of the park is missing entertainment. Summer crowds are going to be insane, and the park needs entertainment. So you can't go to a theme park and only see one show in the park. You need to have multiple things going on. And so that's where I see the plaza come in. They could definitely set up a temporary stage in the plaza and bring back Blues Brothers, or maybe even have some new original live entertainment on that temporary stage. I'm sure they'll figure something out for guests to do in the summer, because those summer crowds are going to be feisty. They're going to probably be angry because they can't get into Super Nintendo World. And what betters guest experience? It's definitely going to be a show that'll definitely make the guests feel a little more happier. Guest experience is number one. Universal should focus on guest experience as of right now, because not all guests are able to visit Super Nintendo World. The land is just too small to accommodate so many guests, so the summer crowds are just going to be insane. Obviously, they'll have limited capacity in place, but there's going to still be a lot of people that can't enter the land, so they need to accommodate the guest in some way, shape, or form, and I think the plaza is just perfect for that. Again, setting up that temporary stage would be perfect. We just need entertainment in our theme park. If you visit a theme park like Disneyland, you have live entertainment all throughout Main Street. You have multiple shows. You have the Fantasyland Theater. You have that little Fantasyland Castle Theater. You have Fantasmic. You have the fireworks. You have, obviously, Universal isn't to that scale, but they can add smaller forms of entertainment throughout the park. Sweep Street, or Street Sweep, whatever they're called. They're great. The music is a little outdated, but it's fine. But they're great live entertainment for some guests. But it's not enough. We just lost two major shows that guests loved. So we need to accommodate those guests in some way. And I think the plaza is just perfect to put in a show, a temporary show, or even a dance party. Like the DreamWorks dance party they did a long, long time ago during summer nights at Universal was a great idea. And I really hope they somehow bring that back. But now they have Fast and Furious cars in the middle of the plaza, and maybe they could do something with Fast and Furious. Dominic Toretto meet and greet would be insane, and then just have like backup dancers. And I don't know, my imagination is running wild right now. But all I gotta say is live entertainment and guest experience is super important. It's a super important factor that goes into a theme park. And right now that we have two less shows, it's just really important for Universal to capitalize onto that. And we'll see what happens this summer. I'm sure Universal has a ton of plans for us. They managed to do fireworks for 4th of July. I wonder if they could do similar fireworks at night, like nightly during the summer. It might be a little bit expensive, but I think it's worth it considering the amount of guests that come into Universal and don't really have much to do aside from the 8 or 9 rides that exist in the park right now. So a fireworks show or bringing even a new Harry Potter nighttime lights show to the park would be awesome. But we'll see. We'll see what Universal has in store for us. I'm very excited. I hope this pushes that word out that guest experience and live entertainment is the number one factor that they should be focusing on right now. And that's all I really have to say in this video. I really, really love giving constructive criticism to the park, and I know the park watches my videos considering the Death Eaters, so that's all I have to say on my end. As a consumer, I really enjoy Universal Studios Hollywood, and I really hope they take whatever I said into consideration, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm sure there's a bunch of new guests that have never experienced Universal entering the park and expecting a ton of live entertainment, a lot of things to do. And as of right now, that's not really the case. There's not many characters that run around. It's just like the same 8 characters always. And so we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I'm JP and How They Sing the Movies. That's a wrap. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.